This is the birth number report for 26/8. And 26/8 represents, well, the number 8 is abundance and power. Number 6 is vision and acceptance. And number 2 is cooperation and balance. So for number 8, abundance and power is amazing. And it is something that would reflect what Henry Ford said: to do more for the world than the world does for you, that is success. So I want to go into the 26/8 birth numbers and understanding the life purpose. Those that are on the 26/8 life path are here to work through issues of perfectionism, money, power, and recognition, sharing their abundance in alignment with their highest vision and ideals in the service of others. Since our life purpose poses specific challenges, the life of 26/8s reflect their conflicting drives and beliefs about money, power, and high profile. This can tend to inhibit the personal power they are here to make manifest. So eventually, 26/8s stand up, assert themselves, and gain recognition within their family, in their community, or in the world at large. So when 26/8s get recognized, it's usually due to the quality of their work. They can work hard for money and recognition, but they have mixed feelings about both due to the inherent idealism. In the negative, the influence of 2 can create inner conflicts. So for example, about whether they're undervaluing their service and charging too little, and feeling greedy and charging too much. The 6 part of them may say, charge less. It's the right thing to do. While the 8 part of them say, I want more. Or may be afraid of abusing money, that they have, that they give their skills away for free to avoid the risk of someone being upset or angry with them. Many 26/8s are sensitive to criticism due to the 6 influence, which can mean they hold back from expressing themselves to maintain their cool. Those working 26/8 tend to be either passive or aggressive, but in general, they usually tend to be more subdued, depending on their level of self-worth, which may be shaky due to the high standards of the 6. They tend to give away their power and lack self-assertiveness when dealing with emotional confrontations. Given their high standards, 26/8s often deflect praise and devaluate their work and their influence. Ignoring their achievements and remembering their mistakes, they have trouble truly enjoying the fruits of their efforts. When caught in repetitive rituals of achievement, 26/8s need to remember the magic words, not perfect, but good enough. When they stop holding themselves back, they produce quality work and it supports others. Unless they're hiding, 26/8s work hard to rise above the crowd in their immediate surroundings or in the world at large. They strive for security and recognition. Although most 8s would deny that they seek recognition unless they're willing to take a close look at their life and their actions, for example, when they're in a group of people, they arrange to get noticed. If they're working 8 in the negative, they may be hiding from money, power, or recognition, avoiding the very arenas they're here to master. Most 26/8s tend to compete with and compare themselves to others in terms of levels of recognition, wealth, or influence. Deep down, they want to come out on top. Although this desire may be suitable or subdued because of the sixth influence, they become aware of this tendency, and 26/8s generally want to correct it. Their desire for improvement becomes more of the same game of comparison, though. I no longer want to compare myself to others like those other people I know. Most 26/8s work very hard to achieve money or recognition because of a core belief that's generated by high standards of six, and that they have to suffer or at least go through difficulty and discomfort to earn or deserve their abundance. Due to their high standards, whatever 26/8s do, they feel they could have done better. This can hold them back from stepping forward in their family or among colleagues or even in the world. But then when 26/8s get past their issues about money and power, which include negative feelings about wealthy or powerful people, they tend to make good money and use it to bring out a stronger sense of self. When struggling financially, they may feel controlled by others. When successful, they tend to feel expansive and generous. Those working 26/8 often display a childlike purity stemming from the influence of the six energy, and they often mature late. The demand and challenges of raising a family, as well as working in or creating a successful business, provide the initiation to help them feel competent adults. Without such challenges, they may avoid hard work and recognition and do just enough to get by. Perfectionism, along with fear of money or power, can hold some 28s back from getting off the ground. This may feel disheartening, not by life's challenges, but by their own unrealistic expectations. Nearly all 26/8s want to control their own life, but at the same time, they want to do the right thing by others. Therefore, sometimes they give mixed messages to other people. On the surface, they want it to be pleasing and they want it to be liked. But beneath this, others may sense powerful, even compulsive drive for control. When feeling powerless, 26/8s find it very hard to stand up for themselves. They typically experience and subconsciously attract a subtle or not so subtle form of abuse in their life, ranging from being taken for granted, being taken advantage of, and being verbally criticized to being physically abused. They generally seek to avoid social or emotional confrontations, but when they're pushed to the wall, few people can push back harder. Although the pure ideals of six generally keep 26/8s from abusing power or squandering money if they don't feel worthy of success. They may subconsciously arrange for an accident, a dishonest or incompetent partner, or another form of self-sabotage. The law of higher will helps open the way to the life of abundance and service for 26/8s by reminding them of their higher purpose. When 26/8s are working in the positive, with their high standards and vision, these individuals make good money. They do what they enjoy, and most of it is serving other people. They feel a sense of balance and inner power in their relationships, in their work, and in their life. Out of a sense of expansive abundance, they can hold on or let go without the need to manipulate or control others. They maintain their sense of fairness and integrity and serve as a positive and uplifting influence in the world, using their power and position to help others. They hold money and recognition in perspective, focusing on their higher purpose and passions. When 26/8s are working in the negative, they will become unassertive and they feel timid and invincible and ignored. Deeply frustrated in their own endeavors, they resent rich people due to their own negative beliefs about money. They find it difficult to get along with others or to form relationships, and they get into power struggles unless the lines of authority are clearly defined. They can become overcoming perfectionists, and they are critical of others, especially those who don't show them respect. They undervalue themselves and their work, judging themselves against unrealistically high standards, and they refrain from taking on challenges in the material world. They not only avoid the fast lane, they don't even get on the highway. Some life path issues that can affect 26/8. They haven't resolved their perfectionistic standards and subconscious negativity about money and power. They may sabotage themselves by getting sick, divorced, or injured to avoid a big success. If frustrated 26/8s may experience chronic tension in their solar plexus, inhibiting breathing and draining their energy or intention around the neck from self-imposed pressure. When they are run down, 26/8s may develop sinus infections, a sure sign for them to ease up on themselves. They tend to drive themselves too hard. Then they have to recuperate. But a short period of self-pampering is usually all that's required. And that's important. Most 26/8s pay attention to laws of good nutrition due to their high standards. But because they work hard, they also like to indulge themselves in ways ranging from having a relaxing drink or taking other drugs to treating themselves into a massage, sauna, or maybe sweets as a consolation for their efforts. The pattern of hard work and then indulgence, along with wanting to maintain a high self-image, means that some 26/8s fall into eating disorders as they over-control and then under-control themselves, resulting in a dietary swing or even eating disorders. Moderation can be a challenge for 26/8s. With their high standards, 26/8s seek to improve their diet and everything else in their life. As with most people, a very low-fat diet works well for them. Most 26/8s who exercise regularly tend to seek an efficient and balanced form of exercise, depending on their background and interest. They may pursue sports as a means of achieving recognition or practice weightlifting as a way to feel powerful. Any kind of physical activity that appeals to them will work fine, and they usually excel in whatever they do. The standards of 26/8s are so high that they can be hard to live with. Either they're judging everyone else by these standards, or they're setting an almost impossible example as they strive to be Mr. or Mrs. Perfect. Those working 26/8s may have trouble knowing or expressing how they really feel because they have learned to focus on the best way to feel and then wear that mask. They need to tune into the authentic feelings and needs. Many 26/8s have trouble with long-term relationships or making commitments, especially when they're focusing on trying to find the perfect relationship. In other cases, they start out by projecting their idealized image on someone and then feel disappointed or even deceived when that person turns out to not only be human, but not what they thought. Then they set out to improve that person whether he or she is interested or not. In relationships, 26/8s benefit from applying the law of flexibility. Sexually, 26/8s want to do the right thing, and they often focus on being good in bed and pleasing their partner rather than expressing their own needs and then just letting go. They may tend to maintain control subtly, either of their partner or just themselves. They need to shift from performance to loving interplay and intimacy. Then their relationship reflects back to them the abundance they feel inside. For talents, work, and finances, when 26/8s are working in the positive, due to their high standards and their drive for recognition and success, 26/8s can almost do anything well, and they tend to rise above the crowd because they work hard and strive to improve themselves. Yet they really rarely feel like they're performing as well as they could. They need to feel appreciated for their work, and they tend to strive for a high income. Due to their high ideals, they sometimes have a hard time finding work that feels meaningful enough. Driven toward yet afraid of high profile and recognition, they tend to be late bloomers until finally they come to value themselves and the quality of their work, emerging as a positive influence on others. If you're working 26/8s, focusing your attention on core issues and by generating specific action to transform these key areas of your life. The guidelines and recommendations are: act with quiet power and confidence. Find something in which you can excel and persevere. Recognize your value and let your light shine. Balance work with personal relationships. Reflect on the following questions. Do you strive or avoid money and power? Do you feel you have to do more to deserve success? Do you assert yourself in a balanced, consistent way? How has your high standards helped your work, and how have they held you back? If any of these questions generate any insights, how will you put this insight into practice? Some spiritual laws that can help change your life. The law of honesty. To be honest with others, we first have to be honest with ourselves. The law of perfection. High vision can inspire us, but excellence over time is the best we can achieve. The law of process. We can best achieve our goals by taking one step at a time. The law of responsibility. To establish mutual support, we need to know when to say yes and how to say no. The law of no judgments. The universe does not judge us. It only teaches us through consequences. Consider how these might apply into your life.